Student engagement is crucial in schools as it is linked to greater student retention, improved academic results, and a decrease in problem behaviour. From each of our literature reviews, it became evident that engagement is vital in the education process. The literature review has found some basic common traits or commonalities that can be assigned to students who are most likely to disengage. These students who are most likely to disengage will include students who come from disadvantaged backgrounds, students from middle years, so years 7 to 9, male students, and students from cultural minority backgrounds. Maslow's theory on the hierarchy of needs is very important in educational literature engagement. Now, from this theory, we can understand that the skills needed by students to be successful in the classroom, to have that sort of esteem and self-actualization, they're in the top parts of the hierarchy. They're not able to access those two top tiers until their baser needs are met. So those baser needs include the physiological, safety, love, and belonging needs that are in the bottom tiers. Now, if we were to understand this in the school environment, that means that students are not able to learn unless they feel safe in the classroom. Students are not able to learn unless they are well fed, unless they feel safe, unless they have humans and parents and teachers around them that are going to provide them with that love and belonging. We need to understand that students will not learn, will not engage in the class unless their basic needs are met, unless we provide them with feelings of safety, security, love, and belongingness. All these things need to be met first before students can even think of engaging in learning. From our individual educational literatures, we had a few commonalities, mainly in our two pedagogical approaches. We found some commonalities between the inquiry-based learning approach and the problem-based learning approach, which was a valuing of student agency as a way of encouraging engagement. So by giving students choices in their learning, by giving students some power and agency, then that can contribute to engagement in the classroom. Another approach that we found in our educational literature reviews were using strength-based approaches. So by actually drawing on what students are interested in, what they're good at, can help with engagement as well. Another two, we have the use of explicit instruction or direct instruction. So this is a way of encouraging engagement with students by actually teaching them explicit skills, by teaching them step by step how to access school content, how to read, how to use the devices in the classroom. Now, this is important for all students, but mainly students of sort of lower ability levels. So how can we expect students to engage in learning if they don't understand it? The last point we have is the inclusion of ICT. So ICT can encourage engagement, as ICT obviously is something that students use on a regular basis. They may be more used to it than typical school-based things that we use. So we use novels, text, written stuff. So the ICT can encourage engagement in that way. The findings from our literature reviews then influenced our data collection, as each member of the group wanted to find out if the views present in educational literature were reflected in our surrounding educational communities.
Our project will implement two different data collection methodologies, surveys and interviews. In surveys, to avoid any misunderstanding for the participants, we avoided technical terms in the surveys and also used symbol language. Additionally, we avoided leading questions to avoid blind answers, thus increase the validity of answers from surveys. Finally, we ensured that answer choices cater all possible responses from strongly agree to strongly disagree. For the interviews, We ensure that the questions are clear and concise, and also allow the participants to take their time to answer or think about the questions. We made sure not to interrupt the participants at any time during the interview and thus provide opportunity to express their voice. With ethical consideration, we obtain fully informed consent. Participants are made fully understand that they are taking part in research and know what is required of them. This information included the purpose of the research, the methods being used, the possible outcomes. In general, the participants should be provided with any information that could influence their decision to participate in the research. The second point was to protect anonymity and confidentiality. Research data is protected at all stages of the process from collection to publication. For this, we removed identifiers such as names and geographical locations. Third point was to minimize the risk of harm. Our research aimed not to harm the participants involved in the research. Any possibility that participants might be harmed or placed in an uncomfortable position is avoided in the research. The fourth and final point was to provide the right to withdraw. Research participants are informed about their right to withdraw from the process at any point and is made aware of this from the start of the research process.
Now let's look at our data analysis. Our data was gathered using two different data collection methods, interviews and surveys. The first set of interviews conducted comprised of 14 questions that were posed to 3 high school science teachers who have had prior experience implementing inquiry-based learning. The second set of interviews comprised of 4 questions posed to 6 high school science teachers who have had prior experience implementing problem-based learning. The second 2 sets of data collection were surveys. The first set of surveys comprised of 15 questions posed to 5 teachers from different teaching areas, including mathematics, music, commerce, science, and English. The second set of surveys comprised of 24 questions posed to 5 science teachers. The teachers had prior experience implementing information and communication technology (ICT) in the classroom. The data collection analysis provided some great insight into our research. The first set of interviews indicated that there is a clear link between teachers' confidence and the implementation of inquiry-based learning. The 3 science teachers interviewed indicated that they favor inquiry-based learning to other teaching methods. The teachers indicated that they have positive attitude toward the implementation of inquiry-based learning in their classrooms and that they noticed greater student engagement while conducting inquiry-based learning activities. As students were provided with the opportunity to construct their own knowledge and understand the relevance of their learning to their own lives. This understanding improves their knowledge and skills, as students are not waiting for the teacher or for someone else to provide the answers. Instead, they are asking their own questions, formulating hypotheses, designing investigations, interpreting, communicating, collaborating to answer their questions and draw evidence-based conclusions. These processes and skills are gradually developed with the support of the teacher who guide the learning process. The teachers also reported that inquiry-based learning approaches can enhance students' creativity, academic outcomes, achievement, and acknowledged that some of the most successful education systems like Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Finland regard inquiry-based learning as an important component of their success. However, the teachers indicated that there are many external factors that limit the effective implementation of inquiry-based learning in the classroom. These factors include limited resources, inappropriate professional training for teachers, and teachers' lack of knowledge and confidence to effectively implement inquiry-based learning approaches in the classroom. Similarly, the second set of interviews with the 16 teachers indicated that teachers found problem-based learning to be an effective tool to enhance students' engagement, as it helps in increasing collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and communication between the students. However, teachers indicated that creating problem-based resources and activities is time-consuming and require proper training and support. The first set of surveys indicated that teachers agreed that engagement is a top priority in the classroom, but teachers with the most experience did not believe that they should teach social and emotional skills and that they would like additional professional development in engagement strategies and on the importance of student welfare. The second set of teachers' surveys revealed that there is a positive correlation between using information and communication technology (ICT) in the classroom and students' engagement, and that ICT can help the students to understand the difficult aspects of the lesson, help the students to visualize abstract scientific concepts and chemical reactions that can be dangerous or costly to perform in the school laboratory. However, students' age and academic level influences their engagement with the ICT, as junior students and low-performing students might not have the background knowledge and skills required to effectively use ICT as a tool to assess them in their learning and to complete the classroom activities. Instead, this group of students can get confused when asked to use ICT and start misbehaving to hide the fact that they are unable to complete the task, which in turn negatively impacts on other students.
Action research is a cyclical process where you reflect, plan, act, observe, and repeat. So, based on our findings, what comes next? Student engagement is essential for learning. For students to be engaged, they must be invested and involved. Our findings show that teachers believe that the use of ICT, inquiry-based, or problem-based learning are some of the ways that we can better engage students. But they find that it can be difficult to properly implement and is also time-consuming. For the next stage of our research, it would be beneficial to implement professional development. Professional development is important as education is a never-ending process. This may help teachers improve their skills and become more proficient in implementing these pedagogical techniques. Technology is also ever evolving, and students today use technology in almost every aspect of their lives. As such, developing techniques to better integrate ICT in lessons beyond superficial uses, such as taking notes or writing notes on a smartboard, would be beneficial to both teachers and students. It would also be beneficial to help teachers learn ways to better implement inquiry or problem-based learning through seminars and other methods of professional development. Using the concept of student engagement provides teachers with a goal for lesson development and a general direction for planning lessons and activities, and planning tasks that further foster cognitive involvement. So it would be interesting to observe how teachers actually implement what they've learned from their professional development in the classroom and see if this has positively impacted student engagement in any way, or if student engagement across the board remains pretty much the same.